points or less. So with two sides at the embryonic stage of the season, with the table really not yet relevant, but Hull sitting there proud at the top of the table on points difference, with a game in hand over the Widnes Vikings, and they went top without even playing last week because Widnes went down, of course, in their match. Robert Hicks is the big match referee. The pitch is perfect. It's a cool night. It's not as chilly as it has been in the recent past. And, well, as Bill said prior to the match, the temperature is plummeting, but the action on the field should really warm us up.
Eddie was down on the pitch just before the game, probably about an hour ago, and it is firm underground. You look at the spines of both sides, the 1, the 7, the 6, the 9, they're both very good. Fielding their first choice. Can Castleford control this big juggernaut in Hull FC?
Luke Gale gets us underway then. He had a heck of a season last year, did Luke Gale. And here come the big men now for the Black and Whites. That's Scott Taylor. I spoke to him at the launch of the Super 8 programme last year in the Middle Eights in Salford, when I think the deal had just about been announced that he was leaving Salford for Hull in 2016, and he was looking forward to it even then. Big drive forward there by Jordan Thompson. He plays the ball to Danny Houghton, and Hull, in the shape of Mark Sneed, get the first kick away, but straight into the arms of Luke Dawn.
Yeah, it's not the best kick. There was good 3 drives from the Hull FC forwards, just playing nice and direct. And Mark Sneed, he knows that he's got a big set in front of him. If he just directs them, he'll be able to get those kicks away where they want them. On that occasion, it just wasn't there.
Luke Gale, the number 7 there in the Castleford colours. He was named in the England squad last year for the Kiwi series, but he didn't make the test side. He did make it, though, into the 2015 Dream Team. McShane gets the pass away. Here come the Tigers then, in the shape of Lee Jewett, but they are without Joel Monaghan tonight. He's not playing. He broke down in the pre-match warm-up, and Bill has got some details of why he's not out there.
It's a back problem that's caused Joel Monaghan to miss this one. Hang on a minute.
It's a great run, this. Oh, beautiful ball! And it's Jai Hitchcox. It's Jai Hitchcox, the man who Bill was talking about, Joel Monaghan, off the field. He's got a back problem. Jai Hitchcox, no problems for him. Over for the first try of the night, fed by Ben Crooks with the pass out wide. What a start for the Tigers on a ground that's not normally particularly kind to them.
Well, it was a good start. Castleford are one of those sides that just like to play, keep the ball alive. Lee Jewett, he got a decent play of the ball before this play. Ben Crooks goes at line, carries the ball in 2 hands, gets the wing at Talon where interested, and supplies the pass for that man, Jai Hitchcox. Good play from Castleford.
Well, when the lads were previewing this game, they were talking about the initiative that Castleford play with. I was talking to Grant Millington before the game. I said, you've made a lot of mistakes in the opening 2 rounds, the opening 2 games, that you're going to wind that back, pull that back. He said, no, mate, that's just the way they play. When it comes off, it looks like that. Excellent start from the Tigers.
Excellent start for Hitchcox on this, his Super League debut, a 1-year deal and a possible option of more from Featherstone. And Darryl Powell, well, he showed faith in dropping Hitchcox into the breach when Joel Monaghan had to pull out, and boy, has that move paid dividends in the opening 2 minutes here. And what a moment too for Ben Crooks. Now then, can Luke Gale add the extras here and give Castleford Tigers the perfect start? 8 goals from Luke Gale already this year. Difficult conversion, but he has dragged it the right side of the uprights. Luke Gale adds the 2 points. Castleford leads 6-0, 2.5 minutes gone. What a start, Bill.
Well, that's it, Eddie, and there was a smile all over the face of Joel Monaghan as I handed back to you and Jai Hitchcox went in. Joel Monaghan, sitting in that Castleford dugout, was beaming as his replacement went in. Now, just the story, Joel Monaghan went out for a fitness test before the main warm-up, came through that okay. Darryl Powell thought he was going to be okay to play. He then did the full-on warm-up, and during that, this back problem that he'd had during training flared up again, so the decision was taken to pull him out. Hitchcox came in for his debut, as you said, thrown into the deep end. He had a quick word with Ben Crooks in the as they came off the field. And there's the result of it.
Well, irony of ironies, because Joel Monaghan's still waiting for his first try of the season for Castleford. And Jai Hitchcox has picked his pocket. Meanwhile, a mistake from Grant Millington.
Scott Taylor gets up on Grant Millington, gets a hand on the ball. I'm sure the referees judged it as a loose carry. And the free play, I'm sure Luke Walsh from St Helens was watching that. Are we on it? Are we on it this week?
So Hull then in possession, looking to respond to that shock of the early concession of a try, and Jamie Shaw was the man who went down. And here they come again now with Jordan Thompson. He's in his third season at Hull, is Jordan Thompson. Houghton gets it away to Price, and there's one of the big men, Sika Manu. Try against the Catalan Dragons. 9 NRL seasons under his belt. Price again attacking the line, looking for the support. It comes from Sneed. Shaw it is, joining the line, as he often does, as he so often does. Big Carlos Tuimavave, they're 8 metres away from the line. Back it goes to Sneed, and then he brings on Liam Watts to the ball. We're at the last tackle now here, says Robert Hicks. It's with Taylor again, and Taylor goes to the line. Oh, and it's picked out of the air by Luke Gale, and away goes Gale. Eventually they funnel back.
Eddie, Scott Taylor, if he just pumps that ball, Luke Gale's already gone for that interception. He scores a try, because I'm sure he would have gone outside the Cass defender. But as it is, Cass have the ball, and they're now pressing in Hull's half.
Well, that's a front row. When he gets it on the last tackle, it's like a ticking time bomb. He needs to get rid of it, and unfortunately makes a poor decision, and the poacher Luke Gale snaps it up.
He did, but they managed to get back in numbers to halt him. But they're looking very confident, but that's good tackling from young Jack Logan of Hull on Luke Gale.
Sorry, Eddie, it's a good read that to come out the line and just cut that play down.
Millington again will get to his feet, play it to Paul McShane. Back it comes to Gale. He'll hoist it high. As Bill rightly said, there's no swirling bitter wind here tonight, but that is difficult. But Steve Michaels picks it up A-OK for the Black and Whites.
Well, from Hull FC's perspective, he had too much time then. And Luke Gale, one of the best kickers in the game, he can put it high and hang in and get a real spiral on it. Michaels completed his assignment, but you give Luke Gale those kind of opportunities and you might pay for it.
Mark Minicello taking the ball forward for Hull. Second year of a 2-year deal. He played all but 3 of 2015. Mark Minicello had a fantastic first season in the Super League as well. And Danny Houghton, he's always reliable, isn't he? Always reliable for this Black and White side. Manu gets the ball away, but it goes to ground. And it's Jake Webster who picks it up.
Yeah, and Luke Gale, if he could have took that ball in, there was nobody in front of him. So Hull trying to play outside of Castleford. But Castleford are coming up trumps at the minute. When you look at Hull FC carrying the ball, they're carrying the ball straight, they're carrying the ball direct. The Cass forwards are using the footwork at the line because they're just not as big, trying to land on the front.
Former Hull man Andy Lynch, 2012-2013, 59 appearances for them. He took that tackle. Here is Gale, he's full of it. Great ball wide, it's Denny Solomona, and Solomona is in. Oh, is he? That was a juggling act. The referee was right on the spot. I wondered for a moment about the foot on the line, but referee Robert Hicks was so well placed, no need to hand this one upstairs to the video referee Ben Thaler tonight. Well, what a start this is for Castleford. What a start to 2016 for Denny Solomona. That's his 4th try of the campaign.
Well, the fans are quiet from Hull FC, but you know Luke Gale, he attracts so many defenders because he's that good. You don't know whether he's going to run the ball himself or come up with a perfectly timed pass. Denny Solomona, he signed last year from London Harlequins. He played in 15 games, scored 18 tries, so he knows exactly how to finish. But there's a nice little neat pass from Luke Dawn, the fullback. They've got some key players, Castleford, that not many people talk about, but they are a quality outfit.
Corey Thompson of Widnes and Denny Solomona of the Castleford Tigers at this early stage of the 2016 campaign. Joint top scorers. He keeps hold and he then tiptoes his way down the dead ball line, touches it down without any problem. Well, this is an incredible start by Castleford. 10-0. Unbelievable.
Well, it's a lovely line from Luke Dawn. The conversion about to be taken. We'll have another look at it when we get a replay. But Luke Dawn comes from the open side, jumps onto the short side, creating the extra number, and then wonderful execution from the two Lukes.
So here's Luke Gale to try and add the extras again. Kicked a beauty off the touchline a couple of minutes ago on this near side of the ground as we watch. This perfect side of the ground for a right-footed kicker. And he makes no mistake. And Castleford lead by 12 points to 0. And the 100% start for the Black and Whites is under threat early.
Oh, you just see that late line from Luke Dawn. He's like the invisible man. He's underneath the post, and then just when the defensive line is set and numbered off, he jumps onto that short side. Great work.
So Castleford leading here by 12 points to 0. Oliver Holmes will run this ball back for Castleford Tigers. We're making sure we keep tabs on the other game tonight. Wigan-Salford, Phil Clark.
Well, Salford had actually taken the lead through a Gareth O'Brien penalty 2-0, but a mistake in their own half. Wigan shifted the ball quickly to the left wing, and it's a great finish by Oliver Gildart. Grounds the ball. Matthew Smith missed the conversion. 4-2 at Wigan.
4-2 to Wigan at Wigan over Salford. 12-0 here to Castleford at Hull, and a mistake from the usually ever dependable Andy Lynch.
Well, it's another loose carry first. There was a mistake from Grant Millington bringing the ball away from his try line. Now from Andy Lynch, normally dependable.
This is a chance then for Hull to try and get themselves on the board with Tuimavave, and a penalty here, much to the delight of the Hull supporters. Ben Roberts just debating the point.
Yep, tackle completed. Yep, very dangerous when he's got the ball. Tuimavave, there's 2 or 3 Castleford players all worried about what he's going to do. A bit field position for the Black and Whites.
And another set here. Mark Sneed sending Scott Taylor away, but not too far. He only made about 3 metres forward before those two closed in on him. And Sneed again to Leon Price, trying to weave a little bit of magic. He's over the line, and Castleford will not let him put the ball down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I think there were 6 defenders in attendance there. But Lee Radford knows his men are getting closer and closer as Thompson takes it forward once again for them, right underneath those Castleford Tigers sticks. Houghton off the ground. Here is Sneed. Tuimavave, job here to do, and they do it. Ben Crooks did well then. Mark Minicello scampers in at dummy half. It's Sneed once more. He just pops the pass up to Liam Watts. Quick play the ball. Minicello! Minicello is over, but has he got this down? No. Robert Hicks right on the spot again. Made the decision. Held up. No try.
Originally it was a good tackle from Ben Crooks, who's left on the floor. Quick thinking from the Cas Tigers. Managed to get enough numbers in that.
It's Ben Roberts that comes over the top. That was the important tackle.
And it was on the last, so that was the turnover, and that's why they restart on the 10-metre line. But Hull, suddenly, they've woken up.
Yeah, well, they like playing off the centre of the field. You'll see that the half-back split, so you don't know whether the ball's going to go left or right, because Leon Price will control the right, Mark Sneed will control the left. As soon as that ball's in centre field, they've got options.
They've also got a trump card to play at here. Around about the quarter of this game, 20 minutes or so, they'll introduce the bench, I'm sure. They've got some tremendous quality. Ellis, Bowden, Pritchard, Washbrook.
But it's all a question of when Lee Radford presses the button and says to those players, get on there and do your stuff.
Well, he's got faith in the starting 13. There's a lot of competition for places. Eddie, you look at Kirk Yeaman that can't make the side. Richard Whiting's gone out on loan. They've got one of the biggest squads in Super League that are all fighting for those 17 jerseys. And it is a team sport, and when they bring on the substitutes, any side brings on the substitutes, they want to make a big impact.
And huge expectation in this part of the world, particularly after the start that they've made, but also the fact they brought in 6 new faces this winter, and what's more, they have a great crop of youngsters in the pipeline as well. Here is a penalty for them, because that ball was stolen, 2-on-1 in the tackle.
Yeah, I thought it was...
Oh, it's a head-high shot he's given. Yeah, there it was.
Paul McShane, and he goes high, just a footwork, steps off the right foot, goes in between a couple of players, picks out Paul McShane. There's the high shot.
It could also have been a strip because McShane had his hand all over the football. That's why it came out. But first offence was the high shot. Sneed then puts the ball into touch. Hull will come again.
Well, Hull, if they spend enough time down there, Castleford's line, they'll definitely score some tries. But Castleford have been defending very well.
Watts will take it in again. Met by Millington and company. Lee Jewett in there very quickly as well. It's Sneed. Sneed gets the ball away to Thompson. He's picked up and dumped to the ground by McShane. That's better. Houghton spins 360. Oh, and then they lose their footing. Scott Taylor couldn't get the studs in the right order then. This now is Leon Price. He showed it to a couple. He gave it flat then. And again, it's all hands to the pumps. And Castleford again stand firm. There was a chance there for Logan. Here's another one, another drive from Taylor. He wants to get the ball free. Oh, that came away.
Their hand on it.
This is the last tackle. Sneed dabs the ball to the in-goal area. Tidied up in his own in-goal by Hitchcock's. Goal line dropout.
Eddie, I think they've got to ask more questions. In that set of 6, they just carried the ball off the ruck, I think, on 3 occasions. They've got to move this cast side around. They've got to look to pull the defenders out of the line. If they want to target anybody, yeah, there could have been a hand in there. It could have been back to 1, but they get another repeat set of 6 here. And they just need to keep on building that pressure. But ask more questions when you're near the opposition's try line.
Leon Price will ask all the questions he possibly can. 34 years of age, Leon Price. In his 19 years in the game. And he was underneath that goal line dropout as well.
Well, Eddie's one of the most decorated players that's played the game in Super League, isn't he? So he needs to really work on the back of what his forwards are doing. Him and Mark Sneed just dictate, direct the forwards where you want them to run, who you want them to get at.
Sikimanu plays the ball to Danny Houghton. Here is Thompson again. Thompson then gives it wide to Mark Sneed. Sneed, he's a halfback who loves to attack the line. He got the ball away, but they just smother him in defence, do the Tigers. Good work from Ben Crooks again. Thompson! And Thompson scores, stretches out the arm. They just fell off the tackles, did Castleford. That's exactly what the black and whites needed. That will give them some injection of belief after a horror start. It's right next to the post as well, so you'd imagine Mark Sneed will have the extras. But Jordan Thompson.
Yeah, Eddie, and it's all about field position for me. You can see a couple of the Castleford players, they're not moving forward, they're just shuffling sideways. And Jordan Thompson, a very underrated former Castleford player. He's big, he's powerful, he goes at the line. Whether the pass is on outside him or not, he'll do the hard graft, and he comes up with a perfect response for this Hull FC side.
Yes, he was once upon a time with Huddersfield, with Castleford, I beg your pardon. He signed from Castleford. He's in the 3rd season at Hull. And Lee Radford, his coach there, is a big fan of his as well. And he'll be an even bigger fan now that he's put his team back if this kick goes over within 6 points. Mark Sneed then, a brilliant one-year stint at Castleford 2014, over 100 goals for the very first time. He's in double figures already this year, and that makes it 11 successful kicks for Sneed in 2016. More importantly, Hull are on the board, 6-12.
Well, there's a couple of good decisions from Jordan Thompson here. The first one is not to pass, and then the second one is to step off to that right foot and just straighten up a little bit. Tez has talked about the defenders all moving a little bit sideways, and if Hull FC are guilty of anything, they're a little bit lateral in their attack. We saw the value last weekend when we were privileged to listen to Trent Robinson. He was talking about the angles and adjusting runs, straightening up, especially when you're a support runner, but predominantly when you've got the ball, and that's what Jordan Thompson did then.
So Castleford restart, Price underneath it, looks for the big runner, and the big runner is Liam Watts again. He played for Castleford, made his debut in 2007 against Loch Lane Amateurs in the Cup. Tomorrow we're across the city, Hull Kingston Rovers against the Saints, 7:30 Sky Sports 2. Catalan leads on Saturday, 5 minutes to 5, on 2 again. Big weekend of the Super League. as the pursuit of a place in next year's World Club Series resumes.
Now that's a better kick on the third play. Kick into space, finding the floor, turning the winger and the full-back around.
Good return by Solomona.
And another one from
Yes,
Jake Webster.
Webster doing well as well.
And Eddie, you talked about the World Club Challenge and spending time with players and people involved in the game, both at grassroots level and at the professional level. We're all hurting a little bit. We're all taking stock of what's happened last weekend. But the best response and reaction can be to get out on the pitch, start entertaining the fans and start getting a feel-good factor back in Super League again.
Absolutely, here to that, Barry. As Sneed just drifts the ball over the top, but doesn't quite get the angle right on this occasion. Luke Gale. And just runs out.
Sorry, I didn't know, but it's a contest, isn't it? I think everyone was expecting Hull FC to just start really strong here. They blew Salford away, then they blew Catalan away, and everyone's talking them up, saying, yep, this team could really get to the grand final.
But you would underestimate Castleford at your peril, because this is the third season in charge for Darryl Powell. They were 13th, 12th, 9th and 9th prior to his arrival. The last 2 years he's been there, 4th and 5th. And of course the 2014 Coach of the Year. And
haven't they been one of the success stories every year? He seems to having to rebuild. It's only this year that he's managed to start the season with Luke Dawn, Ben Roberts, Luke Gale. So he's managed to keep his players instead of losing them.
Nice movement here from the black and white. Is Twima Varvey. He's a handful to put down, isn't he? Eventually they do get him down. Took 3 of them in close attendance to make sure that happened. And Sneed just drifts the ball up into the air. Dawn has called for this.
He looked offside to me, Minicello then. A good return from Castleford. And while you were talking about Darryl Powell, I was just thinking to myself how, particularly Castleford, they booked the trend. There's a lot of front rows, a lot of big men. Sean Wayne, Brian McDermott, Paul Anderson. They're in charge of their respective clubs. But Darryl Powell will be the first to thank his staff. Danny Orr and Ryan Sheridan, 3 really intelligent ball players in their time when they were playing and throwing the egg around in their playing days. They would work out and have a tactic and a strategy. When they were playing, it looks like they've given that cast now.
And another of those big beefy forwards, like the two of you, of course, Lee Radford, who's in charge here at the KC Stadium.
Yeah, you're right, Eddie. Luke Dawn on that occasion, I think he thought he was a prop forward running straight at Liam Watts.
I don't wish to get rid of either of you, of course, but have you ever considered being a coach?
Nope.
Barry?
Not for a while, Eddie, no.
Another try here, Phil.
Yeah, Salford have been the better side, Eddie, but this is a great long-range try for Wigan. Wigan's attack up until this point have been very poor. Players in their own players, poor passes, but there's some wonderful support play here. Matthew Smith decides to take a risk. Oliver Gildert's already got 1 try. Here he makes it his second for the night inside the opening quarter. Wigan needed that. That takes it 8-2, kick to come.
Oh, and here is a break on here from Minicello. And Minicello goes round, Luke Dawn goes inside, another one, can't get past the last line of defence. McShane was beaten all ends up. It was Luke Gale who was there to stop him, but has he only prevented the inevitable? Great tackle on their own line there by against Jack Logan.
Eddie, that was absolutely fabulous defence. Mark Minicello, one of the strongest players knocking around Super League. Everyone thought he was going to score the try until he runs straight into Luke Gale. But again, they're trying everything, but Cats are coming up with all the answers on the try line.
It was a great tackle on their own line by Webster then, wasn't it? It really was.
You just got to put your body in front of them, Eddie. That's what coaches talk about. Make sure you get your bodies in front. Don't let them see any space. And all that hard work now from the defence and bringing the ball away earns them a penalty.
Yes, this is a relieving penalty for Castleford. We shouldn't forget either that Castleford without Michael Shenton for the remainder of the season. But here's the break from Minicello. Look at this.
Good stuff, good footwork from Minicello, and from that field position, young Jack Logan thinks he's over the line, and the big fella, Jake Webster, who originally, I know his squad number is number 3, originally I think the role for him would have been off the bench, filling a little bit at centre, filling a little bit at second row, but he's doing a sterling job without Michael Shenton.
Oliver Holmes takes it in. McShane is at dummy half. Castleford still, of course, have Adam Milner on the bench waiting to come in to the action as and when. This is Lee Jewett. Big Frank Pritchard is about to come on, along with Gareth Ellis. So the changes by Hull are about to be made as Gale finds Oliver Holmes again. He steps out of a couple of would-be attempted tackles, then straightens it up. Incredible Oliver Holmes. When you look at him, he's 23 years of age. This, would you believe, is his 133rd game. Some experience on very young shoulders. Quick play the ball. Here is Jewett. Oh, Jewett thought about the pass and Lynch was in his way. Got the offload away again instead to McShane. A nice dab to the in-goal area. But Jamie Shaw, cool, and it didn't impress the coach Darryl Powell over much.
No, well, Luke Gale, he was in the 2015 Dream Team. He was absolutely quality last year. Got him to the England setup. Unfortunately for him, he didn't play it, but he really does take hold of the game. And here's the big fellas, Frank Pritchard and Gareth Ellis. Imagine what you're thinking if you're a Castleford player and you see that experience coming off the bench now. Where he goes.
He gets them going, doesn't he, here? Every time he has the ball, he's only been here about 5 minutes by comparison. 143 metres Big Frank made on his Hull debut a few weeks ago. And he's waiting on the fringes on this left-hand side, but they've gone right with Sneed. And he finds Price, and here's Shaw. He spins out of two would-be tackles. Then gets the ball away. Here he is, Big Frank. Oh, not the best. Not the best. Ben Roberts picks up the pieces.
He has skill, Frank Pritchard. He's got an offload, he's got a nice pre-line pass. As we're getting ready for the game and you're around the stadium, I haven't seen a player in Super League so far that has so many fans after just 2 games. Every shirt has number 23, Pritchard, on the back of it.
Well, big money signing, big name signing, Frank Pritchard. But big names and big money, you've got to play with discipline. And Fatula Talanoa was interfering here in the ruck.
You're just trying to buy a bit of time, Eddie.
He was.
Slow to play the ball down.
Hitchcock was trying to get to his feet quickly. Talanoa wouldn't allow him to do that, so a penalty on halfway to the Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, and all players know the importance of getting to the feet quick. Don't roll around on the floor. Don't be just kicking your legs out. Try and whip your knees up so you can push up and get up and play that ball and give your teammates something to go off.
The drive forward here by Matt Cook. Started at Hull Kingston Rovers, across the city at prop, substitute against Wakefield. Great offload, Milner. Now Milner's a danger man when he comes off the bench. Oh, Dawn loses the ball forward. This is a free play. It's back in this week because it's Super League. And the referee says that's the zero tackle because they made a bit of ground forward, so they'll play on. We'll go back for the scrum.
Sorry, Eddie, the number 19, Steve Michaels, cuts out that play. Brilliant defensive effort as Hull FC look to offload the ball. They do like to keep it alive.
Crowd come alive when this fella gets the ball.
Well, look at that, that's good defence. Spotting that man, Luke Dawn.
Ellis now, Gareth Ellis takes the ball forward. A few people were slightly concerned last year when he picked up that nasty injury. It might be the end of him, but he's come back. He looks fit, he looks strong. Got a bit of a cut above the eye, but here is a knock on.
It's a fumble from Frank the Tank, and the 2 substitutes, they've certainly made an impact. Is it stripped? No, that's just clean lost. They've certainly made an impact, and going back to Gareth Ellis, he's not brought on, and yes, he's a physical presence when he carries that ball forward. It's in his defence, it's his work rate, it's his work ethic, and as you see him, he might get a bit of tape round the ears, a little bit of red sweat, as they call it, Eddie.
Yeah, Gareth Ellis getting patched up a bit, and Ben Roberts forcing the error from Frank Pritchard. They were teammates together in the NRL at the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Well, he knows all his strengths and weaknesses, doesn't he? He knows that he's got to get up really quick. He's got that offload. He's got good footwork at the line. If he does get an early ball, he's really powerful. He'll pick out one of the smaller men in front of him. If he goes into that collision, he goes into that tackle, he will look to play off the back of it.
So Castleford in possession with Matt Cook from the base of that scrum. And Cook gets them almost to halfway, and You'll be able to talk to Stuart Cummings about all sorts of things and referees at half-time. He will be on Twitter, and Phil Clark will take over at full-time at Sky Sports RL, hashtag AskSkyRL.
Well, the cast forwards are doing all the little things right at present. They're rolling the jersey up, they're going hard, they're running in numbers at the Hull FC plays, looking for that one-on-one tackle.
Junior Moores, another substitute. Milner, Lynch, and Gale, short ball, Holmes. Good tackling by Leon Price. Milner again, down that left-hand side. Luke Gale flings the pass. Comes up for Luke Dawn, and he will hit it cross-field. Saw there were numbers out here. Escapes everybody. Hitchcock's second try. Well, was that out of the coaching manual of Darryl Powell? Or was that pure and simple innovation on the field? Well, it's not been given yet. They're looking maybe for a possible knock-on in the build-up. And Stuart Cummings, it's all yours to take us through this process.
Yeah, well, it's the crossfield kick. We need to check that everybody's onside, which they are. I think they're looking at the possibility of a knock-on from Ben Crooks as the ball comes across here. Quite simple. Does it go forward? I don't think it does. I think it clearly goes backwards from where it hits his hand.
Does he touch it?
Well, I think he touches it, but I think it goes backwards, so it doesn't go towards the opposition's in-goal area. So this will be play on, and I don't think there's a problem with the grounding or the touchline either. So I think this will be confirmed, as Robert Hicks said on the field, that it would be a try. Now, there's the touch, and I think the ball goes backwards from where he is.
Oh, what a start to his Super League life for Jai Hitchcock. This looks like it's going to be, because they are checking the grounding. He gets his second try of the match. I think it'll be confirmed by the green light in a moment. I wonder what Joel Monaghan is thinking now. That should have been him. He should have had two tonight. As it is, it looks like Hitchcock has got two, and he has. Well, Jai Hitchcock's Featherstone in the Championship last year, an Australian, came from the West Tigers. He was there in 2014. Full-back, wing or centre, 2 tries in his debut. Not bad.
Well, it's sloppy, it's messy, it's off the cuff. But Luke Dawn, as he's done so many times in his career, has clarity, has a moment where he spots an opportunity. It's right on that flank. He has to thread the needle, and he puts that ball where he thinks Ben Crooks might be able to collect it. It comes to Jai Wilcox. 2 tries. This is easy.
Yeah, well, I wonder whether that really is in the Darryl Powell book of coaching in Super League. I doubt it. The look on his face, that sort of said it all, didn't it?
Eddie, that's what you call playing with your eyes up, that.
Yeah, eyes open, head up. Now then, can Luke Gale... Oh, look at this! Look at this from Luke Gale. Fantastic kick from him. Hitchcock's 2 tries. Castleford 18-6 up at the home of the black and whites.
Eddie, and if you were looking at that, if you were a Cass fan, you'd think, oh, they're just making it up. But you've just got to play what's in front of you. If nothing's on in front of you, just let's have a little look what's on the edge and put yourself where the action is. Good play from that youngster. Hitchcock's done an absolute brilliant job.
You know, the past 2 years, Castleford have produced some of the best tries we've seen on Sky Sports, haven't they?
Well, look at Dennis Solomona last year as well. He was one of the standouts, wasn't he? The man who earns the penalty for his side, then carrying it. He was an absolute standout. Look, 3 players can't take him to ground. They're that strong and powerful. They work so hard in the gym.
That's not strength, Tez. That's poor technique from those Hull FC players.
That's not strength from Dennis Solomona.
I imagine that they think that this game hasn't gone according to plan.
It was Josh Bowden, the man who was penalised by Robert Hicks. Milner from dummy half. He gets the ball away again. And it's Junior Moores once again who gets to his feet and plays it to Milner. Here is Matt Cook now.
Good work, Gareth Ellis from marker, chops him down.
Milner, they're coming down this right-hand side again. Roberts, short ball from him. Ben Crooks goes down in the tackle. Darryl Powell watching on. Roberts attacks the line. Gale Gale fires the pass. Dawn was the creator, trying to be the scorer this time. We've got half an hour gone. We've reached the last tackle here, and a little burrow coming in from Jake Webster. And that will be the turnover, but not a bad place to turn it over, just shy of their line.
Yeah, it's not ideal at all. Look, trapped into the corner now. Castleford, let's see what they've got here. Do they really want to defend? Got to work really hard for each other, but the Cass halfbacks are really taking this game to Hull FC. They're straightening them up, they're fixing the defenders, and all of a sudden creating that space on the edge.
Well, if the evidence of those first two tackles this set are anything to go by, Castleford really do want to defend, but Hull are making decent progress forward. Lee Radford will be frustrated with what he's seeing at the moment. Here's Ellis again.
Well, as you get into games, Eddie, you start growing in confidence, and because they've scored them 3 tries, they're thinking, yeah, we can do it, but they don't want to give any of the space behind the ruck to that man. You don't want him running at you when you're isolated and it's one-on-one.
Houghton, we're on the last. This will go high off the boot of Mark Sneed, and it does. Oh, how about that for a take? That's confidence. Denny Solomona.
He's under no pressure, though. He had the time, made that late adjustment. He'd end up virtually on the floor when he took it down. Denny Solomona.
Stylish, wasn't it? It was stylish.
Excellent, excellent.
Judy Moores again. He's turned. Bowden low down. Houghton upstairs. Milner. And Matt Cook now for the Tigers once more.
Eddie,
almost up to halfway.
Eddie, I think what we're going to see is Hull FC learn on the trot when power and physical presence doesn't work. What's plan B?
That's good work. Great work by Milner. Great hands. Great hands. Here goes Ben Crooks again. Turns it back on the inside to Ben Roberts. He'll chase the kick from Roberts to the corner. Oh, he might have scored. The touch judge says no. I think Robert Hooks was going to hand that upstairs to the video referee. It might have been worth a look, Stuart.
Well, I think they're fairly confident that he's put that ball down on the line. There it is. You know, touch judge, I wouldn't say he's in the best position, but he's got a good view down the line, and, you know, he's backed his own decision, which is good.
Yes, he got it right.
Yeah, and that's what you want, Eddie, isn't it? You want them to back themselves. You don't want to be going upstairs to the video referee all the time. But that, again, is another warning for Hull FC. They've turned up here with the attitude to play. They're going to ask a lot of questions, and they really are backing themselves, working very hard. Ben Crooks, oh, nearly looking to get the tip of the ball down.
And the Castleford coach Darryl Powell said, you've got to have a look at that. Darryl, we have, and it wasn't.
He's got to ask, though, hasn't he?
Yes, he has. He has to ask the question, but well done, touch judge and referee. They made the decision. Robert Hicks, I'm sure the whistle was going to his mouth.
Well, he'd have known it was close, and he'd be expecting the touches to refer it upstairs, but he was confident.
And he backed his colleague, didn't he?
He did.
Backed him. Here's a penalty for Hull now.
Well, so from been pressing really hard on Hull FC's line, a couple of penalties, then all of a sudden they're backtracking, and here they are, 20 metres from their line, Ed.
Well, Robert Hicks is doing his best to clean up the ruck here.
Well, he's talking to both sets of players, isn't he? He wants a good, quick game. He doesn't want to be giving these penalties away.
Here goes Gareth Ellis. And they halt Gareth Ellis. Gale low down. Junior Moore's over the top. Houghton. Price. Good ball from Logan. Here is Michaels. And Steve Michaels responds for Hull, which is exactly the way Lee Radford will have hoped that they would. Steve Michaels then, the 2005 junior Kangaroo, comes up with his first try of the campaign.
Well, he showed up well, Steve Michaels. There's a penalty. You can see the knee in, and the referee, Robert Hicks, just gives the penalty away. And Mark Sneed, he thought that they'd blur it when the ball goes to the right side. Him and Gareth Ellis were calling for it on the left edge. But again, it's just going at the line. And young Jack Logan, he does enough. Just look at him, carry the ball to the line, gets the Denny Solomona, the Castleford winger interested, and there's the space on the edge for Steve Michaels.
It was a lovely pass from young Logan, absolutely brilliant pass.
Wasn't that a composed pass from a 20-year-old player? Still making his way, still learning the lessons. Lee Radford has complete faith in him. They have the numbers, Castleford. Whether they were talking and communicating, saying, I've got this player, I've got that. Leon Price gets the ball in his hand. He has two hands on the ball, and everybody's worried about what Leon Price is going to do with it.
Well, Mark Sneed, as you would expect, tight to the touchline far side, is taking all the time allowed. They stop the clock after a minute, and that's what Robert Hicks has done.
You stay here.
And call time on again. This is a unique style of kicking from Mark Sneed, isn't it? We mention it every time we see him play. Now then, can he just swivel and put that ball over the top of the crossbar? Here he goes. It's a great kick. It is a great kick. Are we enjoying the kicking of the two goal kickers here tonight or what? Michael's try, a great conversion by Sneed.
Some wonderful stuff and some wonderful ball skills as well. And you watch the hesitation from those Castleford defenders when Leon Price has the ball in his hand. Still a threat with the ball, Leon Price. On his day, he's as good as anybody in the competition.
Eddie, and Denny Solomon, who's the number 5 for Cass, he's got to have more faith in Jake Webster, who's on the inside. He's got to he's got to believe that his centre can make that tackle, and that's what created the space on the edge.
Gareth Ellis, who's come off the bench. He's a Castleford-born lad, is Gareth, and he's a product of the Loch Lane Amateur Club in Castleford. I said in the pre-match build-up he'd be itching to get on the field. He's made a bit of an impact since he has come on, and here now is Leon Price. Gets them to within 10 metres of the halfway line. Quick play the ball. Danny Houghton looking for the runners. Great run it was as well from Sika Manu. Houghton, scampering run from him. Big Frank takes it over. Now he finds Twimavavi. He tries to get away from Crooks. Let's say Crooks has stood up to the task well against the big fella. Talanoa. Inside it comes again to Pritchard, and Sneed just stabs the ball up into the air. Ball drops unkindly for everybody, and the referee says this is a free play, and Crooks is doing his best to get away from Danny Houghton.
Well, Ben Crooks showing us his balance and his skill on the ball. Some good defensive decisions. You're right, they're having a good battle to Mavavi. But didn't he make some meters? That's when Hull FC are at the best. Fast rucks, fast play the balls, players pushing up and looking for a job to do.
Nat Cook taking it forward again. What are we now? Just about 3 minutes away from the half-time siren. And Junior Moores up the middle of the field.
Eddie, they're just looking for that space. You saw Andy Lynch, maybe needed to be a bit more of a committed run from him, but the old workhorse, isn't he having a good game? Andy Lynch, here's a good kick.
Very good kick, but well fielded by Steve Michaels. He'll run it back. Well, look, we're nearly at half-time here. I think they're at half-time at Wigan, aren't they, Phil?
Yeah, they are, Eddie. They're just walking off now, and although Salford trail by 10 points to 2, you'd have to say they've possibly been the better team. The last 2 weeks, Wigan's attack's been poor, but it's been even worse tonight in the first 40. They're clearly missing Paul Deacon, their attacking coach.
Here come Hull again then, looking for something to get them level pegging at half-time, with 2.25 minutes remaining of the first half here. Ellis fires the pass to Sneed. He looks for the runners. The runners arrive from Washbrook. Washbrook to Shaw. Magnificent try. Fantastic try from Hull FC. And all that good work from Castleford looks like it's going to be rubbed out, because the try right behind the sticks, the kick to come, and it looks like it might be level pegging at half-time. You give Hull a sniff of a chance, and they take it. Jamie Shaw with his 3rd try of the season, trying each of the games so far.
Yeah, Eddie, Castleford look like they're rocking again. You can see them just planting the feet. They're not moving up, they're not putting pressure, which makes it easier for Danny Washbrook to pick his hole. Where am I going to run? If I run behind the line, the Cass defenders, look, they get up, they hold. You can't do that. You've got to keep moving forward and nominate who you're going to get. And Danny Washbrook has made a living, not being the biggest, but one of the best at offloading the ball. And when you're a player who plays with players like that, you've got to push up on the shoulder. And this is what Jamie Shaw does.
It's a lovely pass choice as well. Mark Sneed hits the front door runner. Danny Washbrook gets the one-on-one tackle, gets his arm free, and the runner that was originally round the back, Jamie Shaw, stays in support, picks up the scraps, and gets a needed try. They needed that, Hull FC, because I think the Castleford Tigers have had the better of this opening 40 minutes. They would have been the players and the team going in feeling a little bit better, while the Black and Whites have just snuffed that out.
What a try-scoring record Shaw has. That's his 40th touchdown. This is his 54th appearance for Hull. Sneed to add the extras. We're all square. It's 18 points apiece. We're in the last minute of the first half.
Watch the decision here from Mark Sneed. Eyes up, he sees the defender. I think it's Ben Roberts that jumps the line, trying to anticipate Shaw receiving the ball. As I said, pass selection perfect from Mark Sneed.
Eddie, in the second half of this first half, Castleford give those penalties away, and you can see Hull FC just creating that momentum going forward. The halfbacks, again, we'll talk about halfbacks all the time. Who's laying the platform? As soon as the forwards start to get off, they get on the front foot, you'll see Leon Price and Mark Sneed both going at the line, because there's not much pressure. They've got more time with the hands on the ball.
I do agree, Tez. The fast rucks that Hull FC are getting, they're giving the platform, the time, the space. People like Sneed and Price are allowed to just pick off the right runner. I want to see Hull FC with a little bit something a little bit different. When they can't get the ruck speed, how do they outthink their opponents?
Well, all square as we approach half-time. Tremendous first half. Castleford eye-catching at times. Same can be said for the Black and Whites, and they finish this second half stronger.
And it's going to be interesting to see what the focus is like at half-time. What's going to be the team talk from Darryl Powell, because they need to come out and believe again that they can win the next half of Rugby League, Castleford.
Good offload. Danny Houghton picks up the scraps. There is the half-time siren. It's play on, though, because here's Washbrook and Frank Pritchard. Can he get the ball away as well? No, he can't. They wrap him up, and so that's the first half action done and dusted. Darryl Powell will be disappointed, having played so well and built up a nice lead, 18-6, that they threw the lead away up to half-time. What a start for Jai Hitchcocks. 2 tries from him, 1 try from the other flank as well for Castleford. As I say, they were 18-6 up inside half an hour, but then the Black and Whites really did get stuck in. Wigan leading there, but here it's all to play for in this second 40 minutes. 18 points apiece. Castleford, they were never headed in that first half. They were 18-6 up after half an hour, but the Black and Whites clawed their way back into the match. What do they have in store for us in this second 40? Mark Sneed gets the second half underway, and Denny Solomona was underneath the kickoff. Here comes Oliver Holmes.
Yeah.
Well, if it's as good in the second half as it was in the first, Terry, no complaints here.
Yeah, there won't be at all, and Cass need to come out with that same attitude as they did in the first half. They just gave 3 penalties away in the first half, and each one of them was for holding down. They're trying to control Hull's big men, because they know that they're the ones who set the platform. Ben Roberts had a very good first half, the man who's taking the ball at line, and he knows that when you look at Hull FC, you don't want a team like them completing high. 85% they were in that first half, Ed.
Yeah, that's really good figures for Hull FC. The one thing you can say about Castleford is they won't die wondering, will they? They fling the ball around, they give it plenty of air, they offload in the tackle when they possibly can.
Well, it's like classic Castleford, isn't it?
Milner at the dummy half, 40 metres away. The ball will go high then off the boot of Gale. Solomona's after that, timed his challenge to perfection. It's a great push and a shove as well on Steve Michaels, right back to his own goal line.
Eddie, it was, but that was a fabulous take from Steve Michaels. You've got to catch this ball under pressure. You know that Denny Solomon and Jake Webster are chasing really hard. You can hear them breathing, but he pouches that ball perfectly.
Danny Washbrook takes the third tackle this set. They're still inside their own 20. Can the big men get them out of jail here? That's big Frank Pritchard. Just gets them over the 20-metre zone. Houghton, is it going to be an early kick? No, it's with Ellis, so he'll drive it forward. And, well, he's difficult to put down, is Gareth Ellis in this mood. Eventually, the referee says that he's tackled by Matt Cook standing up. Kick to come then here from Sneed, right down the middle of the field. Let's get half-time news from the 2 dressing rooms here at the KC. Bill Arthur.
Thanks, Eddie. Standing in the tunnel as the two teams came out and the Castleford Tigers players came past me looking a bit chastened. I think they had one or two words from their coach, Darryl Powell, in the dressing room at half-time, and he was disappointed with the last 10 minutes of that first half, and the fact that they clocked off in the middle, really, that's what hurt them, and they allowed Hull to dominate them in that area of the field, and the rest is history. And an 18-6 lead was blown. Although Cass get the penalty now, the Castleford Tigers supporters a bit bewildered as to how their side lost that advantage and have found themselves at 18 all. And Hull, it's a completely the opposite with them. Lee Radford disappointed with the first half hour, delighted with the last portion of that first half and looking to build on that.
Well, at the moment they have to defend because that Castleford penalty has taken them midway inside the Hull half of the field. And Gale tips the ball on to Junior Moores, and he takes the first tackle. Danny Washbrook gets off him. Milner, here comes Andy Lynch. Oh, Lynch just pushed Washbrook back on his heels, rocked him. There were reinforcements there, led by Gareth Ellis. Here now is Gale. Oh, what a hit! What a hit that was! You look up and you see that fella coming at you. Jamie Shaw will take the ball on for Hull FC. Wow, that was a big hit.
Well, Jamie Shaw picks up that ball eventually, but Sikamanu with the ball in two hands. Luke Gale's desperate to find somebody to pass to.
Eddie, you happy with this hit to go on the Barry and Terry's hits next week?
Yes, indeed.
Is that legal enough for you?
That's legal enough. Barry and Terry's big hits. They're normally red cards, yellow cards, and things that the referees missed that should be red. There's nothing wrong with that. And the Phil Clark 5 on the Monday, of course, the best 5 tries scored in the Super League each and every weekend.
Eddie, there's the rewards. Again, took the ball under your wing. You can see that there's 3 players trying to control Frank Pritchard, just too long in the tackle. And if you run straight, you run hard, sometimes you will get rewarded. And the referee on that occasion says, yep, that's just too long in the tackle. It's huge, isn't it?
Yes, they're a big side, this. And here is Sikamanu again. Solid defence, though, from Cook and Holmes. Houghton, 10 metres out away from the post. Gareth Ellis, a stuttering little run, takes them even closer to those post paddings. Houghton is waiting. Goes into centre field and finds Price. Price then to Sneed. Short ball from to Jamie Shaw. And that's good defence from Castleford. Great defence on their own line from the Tigers there.
It is good defence, but it's very lateral again from Hull FC. We saw the rewards that Jordan Thompson got when he straightened up. And full credit to Castleford. I'm not taking anything away, but look at the players all running towards the sideline. It's too easy.
Yeah, they need to hit a lead run at Tumavavi, Talanoa. As you say, Barry, running to that corner flag. Someone needs to either cut underneath him, which will then hold up a cast player, create that little bit of timing that you need when you're running across the pitch. But good defence, Cass.
Well, the Reds, you know, they've been a bit unlucky. They've had 2 chances in the second half. You can see trailed by 16 points to 2, swinging the ball wide to the left-hand side. They managed to get it to the winger, Greg Johnson, but he's bundled over the sideline. They also went close on the other side of the field. Ben Murdoch-Masala gets over the line, but he's held up again with 3 or 4 men around him. They just can't get any points on the board other than the early penalty goal.
And no points in the second half here at the KC Stadium either. It's Castleford, though, in possession here, as Oliver Holmes takes them forward over halfway.
There's still a few points in this game, though, isn't there, Eddie?
You get the feeling?
Yeah. As soon as those middlemen start getting tired, we've got some real classy players. Another good hit here from Talanoa. Cuts down that play from Luke Dawn. He's key at the back when he comes chiming in at the back.
Oh, and he's hurt. There is Luke Dawn. Really took the wind out of his sails. This is Junior Moores. Last tackle coming up here for Castleford. Grimacing is Dawn. Goes high off the boot. Well claimed.
And I would say that if there's a negative from Hull FC, it's when the Castleford are kicking the ball, whether it's Luke Gale or Ben Roberts, as a mistake here from Hull FC. Yeah, there's a mistake here. They're not putting pressure on the kicker. There's too much time for them.
I'll tell you what, McMeekin's putting pressure on the ball carrier here. No, there was no strip by McMeekin. It was a tackle on the arm. And Talanoa couldn't hang on because of all that pressure. Milne around his ankles and McMeekin up top. Nothing wrong with that, Stuart?
Not at all. Described perfectly, Eddie. He's got hold of the arm, and the pressure on the arm has caused the ball to come free.
Well done, Eddie. Described perfectly.
I only say what I see, Terence, you know that. This is Luke Gale. Gale then gives it to Roberts. Solomona, can he get the ball away? Well, he did. Oh! Now, did that come off Dawn? Or did that come off
drop
the whole
Eddie.
defender? It's a goal line drop. I'm not so sure. He's going to check it, and I'm not so sure that it wasn't Luke Dawn, Stuart, that got the last touch on this.
Well, certainly James Child on the near side on the touchline, and Robert Hicks both thought it was a goal line dropout, but we've got the ability to check it, so why not do that? It's difficult to see there. It looks like it comes backwards off the whole player, so certainly not conclusive from that view. And if it stays that way, then we'll go with the goal line dropout. It does look to come off the whole player. Yes. Michaels there towards the end.
Yeah, I think Steve Michaels makes the play, because if Luke Dawn catches that ball, it's obviously going to be a try, isn't it?
Well, he's stuck with the decision, the goal line dropout, having had a couple of looks at that, Ben Thaler.
Yeah, and he's had a good game. Robert Hicks, he's backed himself, but then he goes upstairs to Ben Thaler just to clarify it.
Well, they're only allowed a couple of quick looks, aren't they, Stuart? That's the format.
They are, and you know, it's not proving the referee wrong, so you go with the on-field decision, quite rightly.
The goal line dropout finds Jake Webster, I beg your pardon, on halfway. I think James Webster would be delighted to be compared to the big man. Oliver Holmes. Oof, Gareth Ellis got to him then.
Coach of the Hull Academy as well, James Webster, still playing his trade, working with the combined academy of Hull KR and Hull FC, and putting his time back into the juniors of the city.
Yes, it'll be interesting to get a view from him one of these days about how that system is working. Meanwhile, this is Dawn. It went behind everybody, but Solomona picked it up, and they get to him in numbers. Denny Solomona, they know the threat that he poses. Webster reached over the grounded player to get that and keeps the movement going. Logan lets him get to his feet, plays the ball, does Webster, looping pass into the arms eventually of Gale. He looks for a kick out wide, it goes high. This will be a contest with McMeekin. It's knocked back, it's flicked out wide. Hitchcox is on a hat-trick, remember, and Hitchcox is over the whitewash on the far side.
Yeah, well, good defence at one end from Castleford, good defence from Hull FC at the other end. And hasn't he been impressive, Jai Hitchcox? The ball goes out to him, he's looking to get rid of a couple of Hull FC defenders. Jai Hitchcox, good defence.
So 9.5 minutes on the watch here in the second half. Still no points on the board, but I think there have been some more points at Wigan, Phil Clark.
There have, Eddie, yes. It's taken an hour, but Salford have finally found their way over through Wigan's defence. It was a kick by Michael Dobson and a brilliant grounding by Junior Sow, the left centre, outbeating the Wigan players to the ball. The kick was missed, though. It's 16 points to 6.
They're doing very well this year, though, Salford. Oh, and here is a penalty. Frank Pritchard was pulled down on a second occasion by Jake Webster.
Well, it's that ruck speed again, Eddie. You see Frank Pritchard and his teammates, they get on a roll, they get that momentum, and there were two defenders trying to hold Frank Pritchard, which is a big job in itself, but it's taking three defenders, and on some occasions 4 players are attracted to the big man, so there's going to be some space somewhere.
Barry, and that ruck speed's coming about now because the Hull FC forwards are starting running in numbers. Look, Leon Price running up with Sika Manu. He's another option if he chooses to pass that ball.
Houghton, 5 metres away, back it goes to Price. He then finds Ellis. Ellis tucks the ball under the wing and makes a dash for the line himself, but he's held up right on that goal line of Castleford. Houghton, Price again. That's Shaw, good ball. Oh, what a good tackle that was. Excellent tackle that was. Oh, and there's a punch in the face. Now Milner, is it who's hit the deck?
It was Milner.
It's a push rather than a punch, but it's a nasty reaction to a good tackle. Big man got a bit frustrated.
And the tackle, I think, was made by McMeekin. I don't think it wasn't Milner. Now, is this a yellow card, Stuart?
I don't think so. I think he's a bit frustrated around the ruck, but you can't do that. You can't take the law into your own hands. It's a push. I think it'll just be a penalty, this.
Yeah, there was nothing else, and he just wanted to play the ball as quick as he could. Milner, well, he was involved in the tackle with McMeekan, and Frank didn't need to do that, but he did. I'm not so sure it's a 10-minute sin bin, though, Ed.
Well, they've all been chirping in the ear of Robert Hicks. Remember what happened last week when, I know it's a different kettle of fish completely to the Garbutt punch, but it's a push or a punch, whatever way you look at it.
It's completely different.
Well, no, I laid him out. He laid him out, and it was a red card. This can't be red.
It's just a push. It's a penalty.
It's a push and it's a penalty. That's the way Robert Hicks sees it.
Decision. Good decision.
And just let it calm down, just bring him in, and at the end of the day, that's criminal. To give the ball away when you're in control, you're giving a penalty away when you're the one who's got hold of the ball.
So it's a handoff by Pritchard, it's not a punch.
Yeah, it's definitely not a punch. Yeah, if it was a punch, it would be a different story, as we saw last week. But it's a push more than anything else, and I think that's the right decision.
Look, I'm not calling for him to be sent off or anything, not at all, but we're looking for consistency, Stuart, and you believe that the officials are being consistent here?
Yes, I think it's a very different situation than we had last week, certainly.
Totally, the bloke was laid out last week.
Yeah, and they've been penalised because you're the one who give the ball away when you're the one who's give the penalty away when you've had the ball.
And in a very dangerous position as well for the Castleford Tigers. Anyway, they've weathered that. Washbrook is hunting with Pritchard. Milner, dummy half. That's the ball away. That's Nathan Massey, isn't it? Yes, it is. Yeah. Nathan Massey's out there. Milner and Junior Moores. Not quite as much invention on show at the start of the second half as there was in the first yet. It's a high kick. There was a competition in the air, and it was an unfair competition in the air. It's a penalty to Hull.
Yeah, well, this is going to be interesting.
I get the feeling, Stuart, Robert Hicks is beginning to lose his patience because every player seems to be contesting every decision he's making.
Yeah, he is. You can see his body language is changing a little bit, and he'll be aware of that. He'll just want to control himself a little bit and get his point across in a different way. There's definitely the contact in the air there. He is right. There's no need to get frustrated by people calling him any different.
So in your opinion, Stuart, is Jai Hitchcock, is he jumping up to take away Talanoa?
Yes.
Is he not making an attempt for that ball? Is that what you're saying?
I think he might have done to start with, but he certainly ends up well out of it and turns his back into him. So he's not actually challenging for the ball. He's made contact with the
But
flag.
just on that, though, as well, Stuart, sometimes the players are taught to go up, and when they go up for the ball, turn them back so the ball goes backwards. It's not a knock-on.
He would have caught that one on his back if he'd done that.
It'd be a good catch then, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
18 all here. What will happen tomorrow across the city at Hull Kingston Rovers against the Saints? Big game for those two clubs, of course, with Hull making the first coaching change of the year in midweek, and Saints wanting to bounce back from the World Club Challenge, as are the Leeds Rhinos. They want to bounce back at the Catalan Dragons. The two matches live on Sky Sports 2 tomorrow and Saturday. Sneed, meanwhile, gets the ball away again. Pritchard will disentangle himself from three defenders. Ellis once again. Back it comes to Price. Price saw a little gap and keeps going.
Oh, is he going?
Well, they're happy for him to do that. Now then, this is an interesting decision. It's a 20-metre restart. Is that okay?
That's right, yes. He's taking the ball dead.
Because it was Price taking the ball dead, not the Castleford defenders taking him dead.
That's bizarre. He's running for 10 metres before he gets to the line, and another 5 or 6 over the line.
Well, they're in total control of that tackle, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the point there, Stuart, I think, is there was no dragging.
There's no dragging. They managed to keep pushing him all the way. There was a couple of times where somebody got in front, but they got themselves to the side and kept him going.
Luke Gale into centre field it comes.
Good footwork.
Millington gets it away again to Massey.
Brilliant footwork
to the ground. It was brilliant footwork. Finished off by Scott Taylor. Ben Roberts. More good footwork from him. Good run from Roberts. Oh, he's trying to nick the ball there, is Logan. They've reached the final tackle here, the Castleford Tigers. And it's with Gale. Booming pass wide to Webster. Webster still gets the ball away. What a brilliant pass. What a great try if it's given to Denny Solomona. And it would be his second try of the match if he gets it. Well, I said there hadn't been any invention. We've just seen it.
Well, this is absolutely fantastic, isn't it? All comes from the run from Grant Millington. And again, Cass shifting the ball. This is an excellent finish. If he gets this down, Stuart.
That's it. He's got to get it inside the line. And that's clearly inside the line there. No problem with this. This will be confirmed.
Does he make a good decision to, first of all, put that ball out in front of him in the left hand with an outstanding grip on it, and all he does is just put it in the corner as close to the line as he can get away with. He's nowhere near Jamie Shaw. First class finish.
He knows how to finish tries off, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
How did Jake Webster smuggle that ball away?
Try is given to Castleford. They go in front again. Solomona with 2 tries, Hitchcock's with 2 tries, and Solomona now 5 tries so far this year. So far, Super League's top marksman.
Well, Luke Gale with a pass right on the button, and Jake Webster does incredibly well to keep his feet, keep his balance. He loses it, regathers himself. What about this for an offload? Wonderful stuff. He's virtually on his knees. Takes the gamble to pass it to his winker, and Darryl Powell.
He looks excited.
He's excited. That's Darryl Powell excited, trust me.
He was
Get much more than that.
Well, he was up and down, wasn't he? And then he saw the ball go on the ground, and, well, he knew exactly what had happened. And Solomona gets his second try, his 5th of the season. Now then, can Gale make this the perfect 6? Another difficult kick. The kickers have been, both sides, so far magnificent tonight. This is very, very difficult for Gale. He's trying to draw it back, but it won't come. 22-18, Castleford Tigers.
Well, they'll settle for the 4 points, but I think, look at the footwork here. Off his left, stands Gareth Ellis up with the offload. He made the transition from back row to prop forward Grant Millington and sets up this field position. And that's a fabulous pass from Jake Webster, but a fabulous finish from that man, Denny Solomona.
Deep kick-off. 4 points the difference. What's happening at Wigan, Phil?
Well, the Reds have made it pretty exciting for their supporters. We're inside the last 10 minutes. Niall Evans went close. He was introduced to the match about 10 minutes ago. And Logan Tompkins shipped it wide. Josh Griffiths crashed over in the corner. It's now 16 points to 10. Kick to come.
Wow. Drama at the DW. Drama here at the KC. 4 points the difference here. 6 points the difference over there. But I'm told that Salford have missed the kick, so it stays at 6 points the gap. Here comes McMeekin. 16-10 Wigan then there. 18-22 Castleford here. Great night. Great Thursday night of Super League. Good contests, both of them. This is Massey.
Let's see what the pressure's like on this last play.
Up it goes again from Luke Gale. High. Well taken that was by Steve Michaels again.
Well, he's dealt with everything, hasn't he? On that occasion, Luke Gale was put under a bit of pressure, but I wonder who's feeling the nerves more. The star-studded Hull FC side that have really spent the money during the off-season, or this Castleford side that have turned up here and no one really give them a chance, probably apart from the Cass fans and Darryl Powell, everyone within the club.
You plainly wrote them off, did you, Terry?
I didn't. What I've learned over the last couple of years is you can't write Cass off.
Great ball from Houghton. Oh, here goes Jamie Shaw. Beautiful weaving run from Shaw. Fantastic try. Second try for him. Wonderful offload in the first instance from Danny Houghton. And what a weaving, mesmerising run from the young fullback Jamie Shaw. Well, it's a night of 2-try heroes, this. We've got a couple for Castleford in Solomona and Hitchcock's. And Hull have got one of their own in Jamie Shaw. He didn't manage more than 5 games in a row last year. Lee Rattle will be hoping he stays fit in 2016.
Well, that's good vision, isn't it, from Danny Houghton, known for his tackling. But as all good hookers do, as soon as they get a sniff, of a late retreater. You get out and you target him. The ball in two hands, then he transfers it into one. The decent offload, and look at this, the explosive speed from Jamie Shaw. He certainly does know how to finish a try. And just as Cast poke the noses in front, Jamie Shaw, well, he scores under the sticks, and surely this is going to be a 6-point effort.
Yes, if Mark Sneed kicks this goal, and you would put Terry and Barry's mortgage on the fact that he will, from bang in front.
I read Teddy.
You have to. This will give Hull the lead for the first time.
We don't rent together. We live separately.
You live separate lives, I know that. This is for a 2-point lead for Hull, and a lead for the first time. And we're about to enter the final quarter of the match. While Sneed's lining this up, I can see Luke Gale giving his team a pat on the back and a good talking to. Sneed adds the extras. 24-22, the black and whites.
Well, our good mate Steve will often talk about hookers getting out from dummy half. That's the third occasion that Danny Houghton has jumped out. He's got enough speed from the play of the ball to get out, poke his nose through, and all that with 32 tackles, only missing the one. His engine is huge, Danny Houghton. Always a vital part in this Hull FC black and white cog and machine.
Yes, he's a great player, is Houghton. This is his 46th consecutive appearance as well.
Eddie, have a little look at this hit. I think it was Nathan Massey.
Scott Taylor gets up and has a smile on his face.
Yeah, well, he tucks that ball under his wing, tries to just lay the platform. Brilliant hit.
Oh, but now Castleford have conceded a penalty.
Well, maybe getting a bit carried away after that initial hit from the kickoff. Lee Jewett's the man who's been adjudged to give this penalty away. You can just see just a little push there, dislodges the ball.
Scott Taylor takes a big hit, and I like that in a play. He takes a big hit, he gets up and he plays the ball, and the reward has come for his teammate. Doesn't have time to feel sorry for himself. It's a glorious shot, and there's some debate over the legal ones, Eddie. We need to discuss them, because it's the legal ones that aren't automatically in, just to make you feel better.
That'll be in the biggest hits. That's 2 tonight. I mean, I'm selecting them for you, I know, but
I was just going to say.
That's 2 that we've seen tonight.
So should it be called Barry and Teddy's and Eddie's?
Why not? And the Phil Clark 5. All the tries, the best 5 tries from the Super League on Monday. It's all available on the website these days. And this is Jack Logan for Hull FC. Michael's the dummy half. Into centre field to Leon Price. He then finds Washbrook. Washbrook then to Sneed. Sneed teasing with them. Shaw, he's dangerous, is Jamie Shaw. Slippery customer, gives it to Minicello. Minicello, good run from him. Good run from him. Gets as far as Webster. Brushes him away. Tries to batter his way through Gale. Helped out by Milner, they stop him. Coming down the short side again. The big man, Sika Manu. Held up, says the referee, Robert Hicks.
They've come up with some big players in this game, haven't they, lads? Defending the line against Sika Manu, the ex-Melbourne player. He's powerful, got good footwork, so he puts it in 2 minds as you're going in to make that hit.
Good run from Minicello.
It was a great run from Minicello. Sneed dabs it to the in-goal area. Luke Dawn is there to tidy up for the Tigers.
Not a great end to that set, showed a lot of promise. Talked about Minicello making defenders account for him and then miss him. But it's now time to turn the heat up, do a little bit of defence. You see some of the Cast players just sucking in the big ones.
Webster again goes down, tackle number 3, 19 metres made. Roberts, been busy tonight, Ben Roberts. Millington picks it up from dummy half, takes them almost up to the halfway line at the end of this set. Some more action from Wigan.
Eddie, it's almost 20 years since Salford won in Wigan. Well, they're going very close to doing it here. There's some brilliant attacking play. They've been the better team in the second half. They've kept the ball alive, and several of the stars have come to the fore. They forced a goal line dropout here by the kick through by Ben Murdoch-Masala. He traps Oliver Gildart in goal, and they're finally turning this field position into points. It's the man who's chipped it over, who crashes over here through the Wigan defences. That was 16-14, and Josh Griffin has just converted. It's 16-all at the DW.
They are so close to their first ever win at the DW Stadium. Are the Salford Red Devils. What a turnaround in fortunes for them compared to 2015 at the start of 2016. Meanwhile, here at the KC, we have 16 and a half minutes remaining. And it's a 2-point ball game to the black and whites.
I was just going to say that. 2 points here, a draw at Salford. We can rightly be proud of our game. Turn those frowns upside down.
Great run from Hitchcocks. Halted by Scott Taylor. Ben Crooks. What a fairy tale it would be for Ben if he came back here on the winning side tonight. Young Player of the Year 2013, lost his way, lost his place. Off to Australia, back he's come.
Eddie and Andy Lynch as well. It's been a get-on-board set of 6 this for Castleford. Some of the forwards have been struggling. The outside backs have come in, and look at the metres that they've made, bringing the ball away from the line.
Luke Dawn, they're not finished yet, Castleford, you get the feeling. Webster. Gale. Well, it's high and it's a bit deep, and Gale's chasing it himself. The tackle was timed to perfection by Denny Solomona and Luke Gale.
Well, Luke Gale kicked it high and led that chase. Same mistake.
It's obstruction, is it?
No, forward pass. Forward pass.
Well, I'll tell you what, there's 15 minutes left in this game, and I ain't got a winner. There's no side. There's the forward pass.
Only
Danny
he had to lean forward.
Yeah. He knows that's a forward pass. He wants to get rid of it as soon as he can.
Well, Steve Michaels, the winger, he's running round Danny Houghton, who's normally the man who's passing the ball. And look what it means to Luke Gale. He knows this is a perfect opportunity. They've dealt with everything in this second half, and the mistake, well, could there be a try on here for Castleford as they all line out? They've got decent shape.
They've got 6 tackles to try and get over that line. Still got plenty of time for Hull to come back, of course, if they do. And still time for Castleford to pinch it if they don't. They're coming down the short side. And Gale turns the ball back to Webster.
Lovely stuff.
There's a little foil, wasn't it, Barry?
Lovely stuff. Knew exactly what they were doing. Good work from Webster and Luke Gale. Good deception.
McShane gave it to Massey. Referee right on the spot says release. That's 2 tackles gone. McShane. Gale slips the net. Gale wide. Oh! Step from Solomona. If he gives this, it will be a hat-trick. They have a try on the field. Obstruction in the build-up and a possible poor grounding. They're all having a go. They're all having a chirrup in the ear of Robert Hicks. He's doing well to keep a lid on this, Stuart. He is.
He's having a great game. And it's pointless saying anything to the referee once he's sent it upstairs, because there's nothing he can do. Well, there's a block there on by Jake Webster on Leon Price, and that's enough to force the defence to have to react after it. On first look, it looks like an obstruction. He stayed in the line. It stops Leon Price covering the man running out.
Yeah,
I think this will be disallowed for obstruction.
What a shame. And you can see that Leon Price, the old experienced player, he makes the very most of that.
Yeah.
But the fact is, Webster touches him and denies Castleford what could have been a spectacular try.
Well, the Hull fans know this is going to be turned down. Darryl Powell shakes his head. You have to have a little bit of sympathy, because it appeared on second and third look that Leon Price moved towards the player coming through.
It's Jake Webster that stays in the line. He gets in the defensive line. He's no right to be there. He's either got to stop short or get through.
It would have been given with the grounding. Look at that. Spectacular. Not happy Darryl Powell.
Not happy, but the officials have got that one right. Jake Webster's in the defensive line. He shouldn't be there.
So, there you go. Try disallowed, much to the disappointment of Castleford and Darryl Powell in particular.
Well, we've just had one try by a winger almost scored through. Salima Tota appears to lose the ball at the play of the ball. The referee says play on. And Wigan's right winger, Don Manfredi, who's probably been their best player, just about grounds the ball according to the officials. That's made it 20 points to 16. We're now in the dying stages of that game.
So Wigan edging ahead. Controversy there maybe. It looked like a little knock on, but referee was happy with all of that. Here we've had a high shot.
Yeah, it's on Lee Jewett, on Jordan Thompson. Again, the footwork from both sides causing problems.
Jordan Thompson made his name as an outside back, either at full back or winger or centre, and Lee Jewett, who's operating as a loose forward, he's a middle man, and Hull FC going with a traditional loose forward, a ball player, an agile, quicker man, and Cass going with a big man in the middle.
Leon Price into centre field, and Scott Taylor again will take it willingly towards this Castleford defensive line. Houghton waits. Ooh, and he almost lost it. Sneed bullets the pass wide. They've dealt, Ben Crooks has dealt so far with Carlos Twimavavi very well. This is Sneed again. Pops it up once more to Thompson. And Jordan Thompson drives the ball in. Plays the ball to Houghton. Here is Sneed. Sneed looks for the runners. Price was that one. Shaw. And great pass and Michaels. And this is going upstairs as well. Now what are they looking for here?
Is it in touch,
No try here.
Yeah, Eddie, I think they're looking at
Obstruction and touch.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was okay when he gets this ball down, Steve Michaels. Jake Webster loses his footing.
Does his best to stop dead Michaels.
Well, first of all, they're looking to see whether there's an obstruction in the play going across. Well, there's a slight nudge.
Well, that's exactly the same, isn't it, Stuart, as the other one?
It doesn't affect the outside defenders.
It does affect the line, because Webster then can't move on.
Well, that's a decision they're obviously going to have to look. We'll take your point into consideration that Webster can't move on. But as he's coming through, we mentioned before about him staying in the defensive line. So the lead runner has to stop short.
I think if you disallow one, you've got to disallow the other, have you not?
I would agree with you, Barry.
Yeah, I would.
I'm coming more to your way of thinking, Barry.
You'll do well to come to my way of thinking, Stuart.
It's the slight push that moves him out of the way that prevents the fill across.
In all honesty,
Webster can't get across, and then that leaves the overlap.
Sorry, Stuart, in all honesty, I think that Jay Webster's already pushed off, thinking that the ball's going to go in, and his half-back Luke Gale's going to be inside him. He knows that he's got numbers. This ball goes out. Could Luke Gale have got the... This is what you've got to look at. This is the big difference. Does Luke Gale... He gets touched. Yeah, of course he does.
It's that bit, though, Tez. He can't move on to the next defender.
But then he realises...
And he's too short.
Then he realises, stops, checks. I think he grounds this ball. I don't think there's a... Oh, no!
Well, I tell you what, and I don't know what the video referee was thinking, but that has rescued everybody from a Darryl Powell tirade.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, there's no try. His foot's on the touchline anyway. But I do feel that there was an obstruction further in field which affected the outside defence. So this will be no try.
Going to be turned down. Wouldn't it be marvellous now just to have a word with Ben, the video ref, and say, was that an obstruction, Ben? Because there's 1, 2, 3 of you here who thought it was. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter.
Well, I think that what Ben would say is that he gave the defender the benefit of the doubt in that occasion, because the referee disallowed it. He said no try for touch.
But suppose Luke Gale throws himself on the floor like Leon Price did. I would hate to see players adopting that type of underhanded tactic, but you could forgive him.
Well, you have to take the collision on face value, not whether players fall on the floor or anything. It's how it affects the defence.
I think Leon Price threw himself on the floor in the previous one. Not Luke Gale.
The problem is, to the uneducated viewer, i.e. me, that looks exactly the same as what happened at the other end. Anyway, it doesn't matter because it was chalked off.
Yeah, and there's some frustration now. They didn't come up with the try. They've now conceded a penalty. Is it just 30 metres away from the try line? So relieving that pressure for Castleford. And again, just trying to get the numbers in, slow that ruck down, get as tight as they can be. Well, this is a real contest. We've already seen a real contest at the DW Stadium. Well, here's another one here. And this is what we want in Super League. 2-point ball game.
Yes, it's tight. It really is tight, and it was tight at the DW Stadium as well. What's the latest, Phil?
Well, we've now actually, the full-time hooter's blown, and Wigan have won it by 20 points to 16. I think there's a lot of relief amongst the Wigan players. They pushed themselves very hard last week against the Broncos, but we're nowhere near the best today. Salford, a much improved side, and Rory Louis, what a game he had.
So Wigan edge it, 20 points to 16 here. You're just watching the live pictures in the other corner of the screen. You'll see a wonderful defensive effort from the Hull defenders.
Yeah, Eddie, and all the Hull FC players, every single one of them that's on the pitch, come rushing over to this sideline. That's a good read from young Jack Logan. He just keeps his focus. He knows that there's going to be a player coming in. And look at that, Leon Price. Well, you've got to defend, lads.
I said 5 minutes ago, I can't pick a winner. We're just about to enter into the final 10 minutes. Both teams are in it. Neither one of them is prepared to give the other one the advantage. We're in for a cracking 10 minutes.
Yes, we are. Big finish coming up here. And that was Thompson with the first drive. This is Liam Watts now. And Houghton from dummy half, just inside the Castleford half of the field. Gives it to Scott Taylor again. Big man keeps the legs pumping.
Yeah, he does, Eddie, and there'll be some nerves in both sets of players. They don't want to make the mistake. They don't want to let each other down. As Hull look to shift it yet again on this right side.
Logan here. It's the last one coming up, says the referee, Robert Hicks. They're running it here with Manu, and that kick has bounced everywhere. No knock on against Castleford. It was a charge down.
Eddie, that's a poor way to end your set of six, that. Well, Sika Manu, when he goes at the line, at first he was going to tip the ball inside, then he thinks, no, there's nothing on, I can't get that past there. That'll disappoint Lee Radford.
Might disappoint Lee Radford more if Castleford go up the other end of the field and score. Massey. 3 tackles gone, they're almost at halfway, spreading it wide here with Roberts, who thought about the pass further wide, almost fooled the Hull defenders. McShane and Gale. Now Dawn. Here is Webster. Now then, there's a man out wide here, which is Danny Solomona. He can't get it to him, but he can get it over the top to Gale. And Gale, the ball is then turned back to Massey. Last tackle coming up here for Castleford. It's end-to-end stuff. Oh, a penalty. Will they go for the 2 points and claim the draw at least?
Surely they'll go for the 2 points.
A great decision by Luke Gale to give early ball to his centre, Jake Webster, who rumbles forward, finds another offload, and Liam Watson, his black and white teammates, they know they're in a game now.
But this is the last players. Sorry, Barry. This is the last tackle, though, isn't it? 5th tackle, everyone's set. There's no need to give that penalty away.
Soft penalty, wasn't it?
The man at the back of the play, the ball, Paul McCheyton, has got more tricks than anybody in the league in that position. He had 2 or 3 metres. Lee Radford, he will be disappointed because first and foremost, 4 defenders couldn't handle Nathan Massey.
Well, it was 16 all across the city at Hull KR in round 1. Are we on course for another draw in the city of Kingston upon Hull for the Castleford Tigers? They lost here 52-0 March 2013. Conceded 9 tries. They became the first visiting side to fail to score at the KC Stadium in Super League on that occasion. Only 4 wins from 16 visits to this ground, but they are anything but second best here tonight. And this now levels things up. Luke Gale's successful kick. Leon Price will, all being well, joining John Wells at the touchscreen when we have finished the commentary here. That's at full time. Leon Price with John Wells. Wonder whether he'll be talking about a win, a loss, or this draw.
Well, it's been a big performance from Darryl Powellsman, hasn't it? Who would have expected him to come here and compete with the high-flying Hull FC, the big spenders in the off-season? Everyone talking them up to get to that grand final, but they performed over the last couple of years, and they've certainly started this season off well as well.
They have, but so too have Castleford. These two sides, both unbeaten. All right, Hull have got the 100% record that they are defending, but Castleford too. The 16-all draw, and then they beat Wakefield 40 points to 6 a couple of weeks ago. So both of them here with incentive, and great hands again, and here goes Luke Dawn. Here goes Luke Dawn, cut down though by Scott Taylor on halfway. Webster the dummy half, gives it to Andy Lynch. Last tackle coming up here for Castleford. 1 pointer perhaps, 1 pointer from Gale, 1 pointer possibly from Gale. He's kicked it,
wow.
I think he has. Well, Steve-O's watching at home tonight, and he will be, well, if his hip allows him,
He's fell off his
up,
armchair.
He'll be up off the chair.
And he'll have fell straight back down. Look at that, the pressure.
I can hear him from here, Steve. Oh, hip, hip, hooray! Well, put it down to the
great
forwards.
finish, isn't it? That's a great finish.
A couple of really big charges from the middlemen from Castleford. They got the position, and Luke Gale, right man, right place, right temperament, hopefully for Castleford to win this game.
Well, there's still 5 3/4 minutes remaining. There is a long, long way to go. There is a lot of water to run under the bridge yet, but the Castleford Tigers have nosed in front. Boy, it's good to be back in the Super League, isn't it?
It is, Eddie, and you love seeing the underdog just step up to the mark and say, right, if you want to beat us, you've got to throw everything at us, because we're not just going to come here and lie down. What Cass need to do now, they've only going to probably defend another 2, maybe 3 sets, get to the end of the sets, kick the ball, turn over on their terms, and make sure you defend. No one jump the line, because that's where they've been impressive defending this evening.
You make it sound so simple, Terry.
Well, that has to be going through the minds of the players. Roughly a defensive set will last a minute. I'm sure the players will be just glancing up to the clock saying, right, well, that's 1 down, we've got 1, maybe 2 to go.
Oh, high shot. No, off the shoulder. Off the shoulder by Millington. That could have been a flop as well from Lee Jewett.
I don't think the tackle was complete, Eddie, but Luke Gale taking control, kick into the corner, because it's all about that field position. Here you can see it, to grab it over the shoulder. Yeah, I agree with the referee. He's been very good today. Sorry, Ed.
Yes, he has. He's had a good game, as Robert Hicks, and he's been under pressure from both sides virtually all the way through this match. Well, 4 tackles gone, and Hull are still inside their own quarter of the field. Now they're over it, and now they're running it, and here they go. Here come the Black and Whites, Michaels, but only as far as Webster. Last tackle, they're just on halfway. What have they got here? The kick, maybe? Well, it's with Sneed, he's running it. He gets it wide, and it's play on, and Twimavavi flicks it wide. It comes in centre field, and it's gobbled up by Luke Gale.
Hasn't he been good, Luke Gale? He's come up with the right calls at the right time. Ben Roberts looks a different player in 2015. He had some really telling involvements last year, Ben Roberts. He looks a different player this year. Luke Gale, outstanding from that man.
Well, all the Cass players now congregating round the ruck. The job's not done. They've got to finish this game off really well.
Ben Crooks plays the ball. McShane gives it here to Andy Lynch. Crooks and Lynch, what would they give to go home tonight with a victory against their former club?
Do you know what? He is a warrior, isn't he, Andy Lynch? 36 years of age. I think he's the oldest man in Super League now.
Great offload to McMeekin. McMeekin's come of age, hasn't he, as well, in the past couple of years, since he's moved from London Broncos to the Tigers. Roberts with a high kick. They're all after this. Oh, Jamie Shaw plucks it out of the air. McMeekin gets to him. Good offload, though. Here they come with Talanoa.
Well, those are those judgment calls. Luke Dawn is almost competing for that ball. He doesn't need to. They're in front on the scoreboard. A nice intact line of defence to meet the Hull FC. First of all, the bloke that catches the ball, Jamie Shaw, and then every tackle from that point.
Danny Houghton. Thompson gives it to Price. Short ball from in, put down by Minicello. Free play for the Tigers. Free play for the Tigers with Webster. And Webster. Logan's after him, and Logan gets to him brilliantly.
Well, he's played really well, hasn't he, Jack Logan, especially in defence.
Now then, Roberts. Roberts comes back this way, tries to get away from Ellis.
Oh, he's dropped it.
He has dropped it. It was stolen one-on-one. Here comes Big Frank. Frank gets the ball away to Jamie Shaw. And Shaw is clawed to the ground.
Oh, Cas can't get back, Eddie.
They can't. Can Hull get forward with Price? A kick down the line from Michaels. It's too strong.
Oh, Eddie, that was on the first or second tackle. Well, Leon Price, well, he stayed down.
I think it's just exhaustion.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And disappointment.
Absolutely. Every player's given everything they've got. An early pass from Minicello. Leon Price, you'd probably back him to make the right call 9 times out of 10. Here's the drop ball. Straight on the attack. Watch to the big fella who finds a lovely offload, and everybody in the stadium thinks Jamie Shaw's going to win it again, but not so. Great tackle from Hitchcox.
Do you know, Eddie, you get excited when you have the ball, and maybe Leon Price should have bought a bit more time and just camped down here. 5 more players or 4 more players near the opposition's line.
Leon Price disappointed that his kick found touch rather than Michaels. He will be talking about that hopefully with John Wells after we've finished here tonight. Eddie. 61 seconds between Castleford and a win, and they have the ball. They will be taking every second of this set.
They won't be panicking. And you know, you're paid to make those split-second decisions when you played as a half-back, and unfortunately for Leon Price, it didn't come off then, but we've seen it come off during his career. He's been a fabulous player in Super League, as I say, 19 seasons in Super League.
Roberts takes his time, takes time off the referee, then puts it back on. Every second counts, never mind every minute counts. Every second in this game, and there's 30 of them left.
Eddie, you'll be looking to kick this ball out of the field of play on this last tackle.
Now there is the 5th. Here comes the last. Massey plays it to McShane. Oh, and he's gone up the middle, has Luke Gale. Now then, this is risky, because if there's a break in them, you never know from Hull. Shaw has it.
Oh, great.
And they're keeping the ball
too
alive.
soon.
That's all they can do. Goes wide to Talanoa. Back it comes into centre.
Oh!
It's Danny Solomona who pinches the ball and scores the hat-trick and wins this match for the Castleford Tigers. Darryl Powell, Danny Orr, they shake hands in the stands. The Castleford Tigers supporters, they dance in their corner of the ground. What a game, what a win for the Castleford Tigers. Unbelievable.
Well, Eddie, I told you it was great defence. McMeekin looked for a second like he'd opened the door. And Hull FC, well, who can blame them for throwing this ball around? Here's the kick from Luke Gale. He puts it high. We thought he might have kicked it off the island and kept the clock ticking. Watch Mike McMeekin. He jumps out. And Jamie Shaw, who's been a constant threat all night, starts this attack. It's too deep. And that pass is too long and in the air too long.
Haven't they got so much energy? Cas turning up for each other in defence, trying to put pressure on Hull FC. Wow, what a game.
What a game indeed. He kicks the goal as Luke Gale. Solomona's hat-trick took tries, courtesy of a wild pass, but in the circumstances, everything had to be wild for Hull FC by Carlos Twimavave. And we have just seen the first try hat-trick by a Castleford player at Hull since Tony Kemp in the 48-18 win at the Boulevard way back in 1994. But Hull's 100% winning start has jutted to a halt, just as it did in 2009 against Castleford. Hull won the opening 5 of that year, and it was a Brent Sherwin drop goal that gave Castleford a 19-18 win on that occasion on this ground. We thought it was going to be the drop goal from Luke Gale that separated the two sides, but at the end of the day, it was the hat-trick try from Denny Solomona that won this match for the Castleford Tigers. Drama all the way. A great game to get us back into the First Utility Super League.
Yeah, it was, Eddie, and Denny Solomona come up with some brilliant touch.